Go again, yo everyone, the Starlight Let's Player is here, and welcome to the beginning of Heartcatch Pretty Cure Oshade Collection, or Fashion Collection, if you will. This is the second last, well, I wouldn't say second last, but this is probably the third last, the third last Pretty Cure video game to ever appear on a Nintendo DS. The reason why is because there is yet another Heartcatch Pretty Cure game on the DS, but I won't be doing that, and I will explain my reasons why at the end of this playthrough. But yeah, this is Heartcatch Pretty Cure Fashion Collection. Like once again, I gotta talk over the intro because I don't want this video to be copyrighted. But yeah, the song you're hearing in the background, this is Alright Heartcatch Pretty Cure, which is the opening of the original show, which was done by Aya Ikeda. And yeah. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna give my bit of an early thoughts at this game right now. This is pretty much a downfall to what Fresh Pretty Cure had. If Fresh Pretty Cure was the highlight, just a bit of the highlight, then Heartcatch Pretty Cure is pretty much like the roller coaster down, if you catch my drift. But the reasons, I'm gonna give my reasons why as we go through this playthrough. But yeah, this is the beginning of Heartcatch Pretty Cure, fashion collection, and yeah, this game is pretty much something else. This is something else. But yeah, I forgot to mention, as you saw in the intro, you noticed that there are a bunch of other cures in the intro, but the reason why is because I'll explain later as we get into this game. There are a lot of things. There are a few things to unpack here. So, like last time, you're given to create your own save file. You can create up to 2 save files. And what this game is about, well, once again, like the previous game, this is a mini collection game where you once again do a lots of mini games, do a lots of activities like dressing up and stuff, do musical performances, and they say you're supposed to do fights, but I'll explain more on that last part though. But yeah, you notice that the length of this video, this is like 11 minutes long. This is like 11 minutes long, which is kind of odd considering this is the first part. The reason why is because this is where I had to my first bit of criticism. This game has too much tutorial. I will say that. Like, I get that they're trying to explain what you're supposed to do in all these video games. This is a game for kids. I can understand that. I mean, I will say this is actually rated E for everyone if this was in English, but it wouldn't hurt a bit for them to tone it down a bit with the tutorial. So yeah, you're given this is the first game to where you'll be able to create your own name tag. And it's I think once we get to, I think later in Love Live, they actually implement that, where you create your own name tag in the Love Live video game. The one that which I played, the PS4 version, by the way. So yeah, I find that a bit interesting. But yeah, you'll be going through different locations. In the shop, there are a bunch of activities. Basically what they're doing is, the center is the fact that they'll be working at the shop in order to make costumes, outfits, and other accessories for the customers. So you'll be doing that throughout the whole game, and as the more you play, the more the main 4 characters you unlock. So Tsubomi and Erica are playable at the beginning, but as you play more of this game, you'll be able to unlock the other 2 characters, Itsuki and Yuri. But oh boy. So yeah, there are many activities you can do. The first one is a dress-up game. What you're basically doing there is you can be able to choose which body part of the mannequin, and you're essentially supposed to be creating. You're essentially supposed to be choosing the patterns, choosing the colors. You're choosing the kind of material you want, in order to create this. So that's when you go into these mini. That's when you go into like the sewing part. You basically just cut out the printed part. You cut out the printed parts that they is like centered. That is display, and you try to. And it doesn't really matter how you cut them. You're obviously gonna cut them correctly. So I will say the stylus control on this game is actually not so bad. That's one thing. That's one criticism, not criticism, but that's one compliment I will say about this game. It actually has some good motion controls, and I will admire that. So yeah, once you do the cutouts, you're essentially dragging the line. What you're doing is the sewing thing. So you move the finger or the stylus pen left or right, and you got to make sure the line stays in the blue line, and you keep doing this until that little well, not notification, but that little thing goes all the way down to 100. That little pointer. You gotta do this without going out the line, and doing this with a finger can be a bit difficult. But if you're doing this with a stylus pen, it won't be so hard. So yeah, once you've done all of that, you can see the hat is on the full display on the mannequin. You just press the OK button, and there you go. You have created yourself a hat. This is the only way for you to. This is the only way for you to please customers. This is the only way for you to help these customers out. So if they want the item that you don't have, you have to create that item. But if they want the item that you do have, you can essentially already give it to them. Yeah, that's where you can actually choose the characters that you want, and yeah, you can actually like dress up the cures. So you can dress the cures in many different clothes, and there's also a mirror to preview the outfit of what they're wearing. So yeah, and when you see that icon at the top of their heads, you essentially have to help them out. You gotta find the right item that they want. So for example, you see this girl, they want a red dress, well, a red skirt, and once you give it to them, you'll get a stamp. Depending on what you do will determine how many stamps you get. So if you already have an item and you give it to that customer, you get 1 stamp. If you create an item for that character, you can get 3 stamps. And the best part about this, I will say another good thing about this game. I mentioned earlier that the other cures are in the game, are in that intro. Essentially, they're kind of pretty much in the game. When you collect enough stamps, then you'll see a big heart that appears right at the door. And when you do that, when you tap on it, a guest character will appear, and that essentially will be a cure. That is actually pretty neat. Especially since doing the fact that this game was released on August the 5th, 2010. Which was like I would say like almost 5 months. Which was 5 months after DX2 was released. So that was actually amazing timing on them, I will say that for sure. So yeah, there are many things you can do in this. There are actually many things you can do in the shop here. I noticed that there's a I noticed that you can actually change the design of the room. It can be any color of the cures, whether it be pink, blue, yellow, or purple. And there's also a, as you saw like earlier in the game, in the shop, there's a top on the top left corner is a door, so you can essentially either start sewing an outfit, or you can go out. You can go into town, and in town there are mini games for you to do there. But you can go into the workroom, and what the workroom is essentially where you can create outfits. There, you can do other things besides creating outfits. You can create music. You can make music with the horn. You can actually do a mini game. You can actually do a mini game with a telescope. You can also do a mini game with a notebook. which I'm not gonna do, and I'll probably tell you why once we get to the third part. Once we get to part 3. But and a bottle mini game where you actually find the right ingredients in order to create juice, milk. You're essentially just creating juice. I don't know what kind of juice they're making, but yeah. There's also a paint can where you can like change the profile of the shop and the name. So there's a lot of things you can do once you're in the workroom. Like you see there, right now got 7 stamps. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much all you can actually do in the shop. There's nothing much you can. There's really not much you can actually do. Nothing else for me to explain in the shop. But yeah, this is part 1. This is part 1 of Heartcatch Pretty Cure fashion collection. Oh boy, I'm saying this right now. This is gonna be even shorter than Fresh Pretty Cure's playthrough, because at least with Fresh, they had more things to do. They had a bunch of mini games to play through. They had other fights as well. You can unlock sets right at the beginning of the game. Whenever, if you're so lucky, you can even unlock. You can even play against the toy module, which is an exclusive fight which you can do with it. Once you enter the right cheat code, you can do that in the game. And yeah, it just seemed like it had more activity in Fresh. Heartcatch Pretty Cure, it doesn't really have much to do so, and I'll explain more once we get into part 2. So yeah, this is part 1 of Heartcatch Pretty Cure. Not really looking forward to this game, but I'm hoping this sequel, Sweet Pretty Cure, does better, which will actually be the last Pretty Cure game I'll do for a while, unless I can find a way to do the 3DS games. But yeah, that is it for part 1. Stick around for part 2. Have a startastic day, everyone. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, by all means, give it a like. And if you want to see more of this content, be sure to hit the subscribe button and also turn those notification bells on as well. Also, if you want, you can also check out my 2 Twitter accounts. The first one being Kill Starlight, aka Starzy, and the second one being Starzy, the Pretty Cure veteran. Both of these will be in the description below, and you can also check out my Discord as well if you want to join in to talk about Pretty Cure and Neptunia and all that stuff. But yeah, that's all that said. Until then, this is the Starlight Let's Player signing out. As always, Goku Genyo, and I'll see you all in the next video. Tell me what you want, tell me what you need. She gon' party like she in the swinging 70s. Now I'm riding through the sunset just like I'm a boss. We be riding all for the night. Girl, let's take it slow. Just wanna make sure that you're comfortable. Call you my princess, I'm your prince, just to let you know. You're such a hottie, you could be in a fashion show.